welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or not review slash tutorial on the new Mario and KKW Beauty collection. I'm super excited about this collection. Ever since I found out that they were going to be collaborating and I saw what the products were, I was like, sign me up. I'm gonna buy the whole collection, and I knew I needed it. So it actually has been sold out since it has launched, but they are working on restocking it super soon. So if you haven't gotten your hands on it, this is the chance to kind of learn a little bit more and see if you want to go ahead and splurge on this collection or if you are going to be passing. If you guys want to see my thoughts and opinions on this new Mario and KKW Beauty collection, then please go ahead and continue watching so you can find out all the real tea on this newest collection. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and start off with the Mario KKW palette. And I've been trying to decide for literally the past like 15 minutes what look I want to do. It's just so hard because I feel like these colors are so beautiful. They're also very wearable, and then there's like that fun blue in there. And I just don't want to do a look that everybody else has done, like with a blue, and I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, so I think I decided what I'm gonna do, so let's just go ahead and start. So the colors in here are so beautiful. You have very wearable colors. So I'm actually gonna start off with this color right here. And we're just gonna use that as a transition color, and I'm gonna use that right on my crease. I think these things always mess me up, but I think that color is Miami. So we're just gonna pop that color all over our crease. And I'm taking this nice fluffy Morphe blending brush. I like to use it when I want to do a very just like blended out color on the crease, because I feel like when I use a precise brush, it kind of gives you more of like a unblended finish. So I like to use something a little bit fluffy to really blend that out as much as possible. And then I take my bigger Delium Tools blending brush. This is one of my favorite blending brushes ever. And I'm just going to be popping that all over and kind of expanding that higher. You can see it like really smokes it out. Then I'm going to be taking this color right here, which I think is Libra. You're just kind of building the colors from the lightest color to the darkest color. Then I'm going to take this color right here, which is 2008. And we are just going to apply that one on top of Libra. That one is definitely the darkest like matte color in the palette. So I wanted to play around with as much as the colors as I possibly could to create this look. I think it also helps when you have a really good blending brush. I feel like if you have a really good blending brush, the colors just blend out so much better, even if they're not the best eyeshadows, but I think that these are pretty good so far. Just kind of want to round it because we are going to be doing a halo eye. So you just kind of want to round that out as much as you can. Okay, so I went ahead and cut the crease. I always do it when I do tutorials, so it's nothing new, but I did want to show you guys what I'm going to do next is I'm going to be taking the shade Decade, I think. So I don't think, yeah, I'm going to take the shade Decade, which is right here. And it's like a nice like whitish shade. If you can see, it's like this nice white shade, which is matte, which I really appreciate. I feel like a shade like that is always so essential in a palette. So once we apply it, we have set the concealer, and that shade went on really well. Like, it's very pigmented, it's very white. It reminds me a lot of the Balm Cosmetics white shadow that I like. So that is really nice, and I always like to use a white color, so it's good that it comes with this. So now we're gonna go in and start to take the colors that we have around our crease and apply them onto the sides of our lid. So I'm just gonna go in with this color, and then I'm gonna go in with that color. So we're gonna start off on this edge. And you can be kind of messy with this. Like, you don't have to be really precise, because we're just creating the halo right now. And you just want to leave the middle section bare, because that's the part where we're going to be placing a really pretty color. I'm not exactly sure what color I'm going to be using in the middle, but all I know is that I'm going to be using a nice shimmer. So I'm going to start off with this gold shade right here, and then I'm going to go in with the lighter pearlesque shade, just because I want to see kind of how they look together. And we're just going to place that on the center of our lid. It's not like really sticking. I'm gonna use a little bit of MAC Fix Plus because I feel like it's pigmented, but it's not really like showing me the full potential. I think it's because it's a new palette, so I kind of have to like go in a few times to really like roughen it up. But like, I feel like there's other shimmers that I've used that are more pigmented. I don't know if it's maybe because it's a new palette and I've never used it before that I kind of need to like go in there with my brush a few times and really like get the pigmentation, but I just feel like I'm not seeing it as much as I could. So there is the middle color. I'm gonna go back in with that light brown shade that we use on the sides and apply a little tiny bit more. I think I'm gonna go in with a little bit of that darker color and just apply a little tiny bit on the edge. So this is what we have going on so far. Still wanna work on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side and then we can start to kind of piece it together because this is kind of just the beginning part of it. I do have to say my first impressions, the palette's nice, but I don't know. I feel like there's still like something more that I need from it that I'm getting from other palettes that I own that don't like require as much work, especially the shimmers. I was expecting these to be extremely pigmented because everybody was raving about how pigmented the shimmers are. But I do feel like I need to kind of get through the first layer of shadow and kind of scratch that off to really get that nice pigmentation. So I went ahead and smoked out my lower lash line with some blue right here. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I wanna just leave it blank so that I could do it on camera. And I'm just gonna be using my Morphe M508 brush and taking the cobalt blue and just dragging it down here. The blue is very nice. I have to say that. It looks really nice on the under eye. It's definitely a true blue. I feel like it's hard sometimes to find really true blues, but I think this one is definitely a true to blue color. So I really appreciate that. And I feel like it just looks so nice underneath here. Okay, so for the lips, we have 3 colors. We have 2 glosses, which are the Juicy. And Juicy is kind of more like a pinky. And then we have this one, which is called Super Nude, which honestly, seeing it in the packaging, it looks like a concealer color. And also, I just feel like this is gonna be way too nude on me. And it's gonna make me look kind of weird. So I don't know how I feel about this. I also feel like I'm not a big fan about the fact that this doesn't really have a scent. Like, it doesn't smell like anything. I wish it had like a subtle scent, because I know Kylie Cosmetics, they always have like this pretty scent in there, but this just doesn't have a scent, which kind of like, I don't know. It freaks me out because this already looks like concealer in this packaging. I'm just like, ah. I actually do want to compare it to the concealer. So it's pretty much the same size as the concealer. I really wish that they would change this packaging and make it a little bit bigger. I feel like this is way too small. So that's something that I just noticed. I do like the way that they have like this like gray packaging because I feel like it's very true to Mario, but I'm not the biggest fan, to be honest, of packaging for KKW Beauty. And then the lipstick is called Classic K. And I think I'm gonna like this lipstick because it's like a really pretty nude. Let's go ahead and apply the nude lipstick. It has this nasty scent as well, which I don't like. Feels really moisturizing on the lips. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more browny, but it's a little bit more on the pink side. So it's definitely more like of a pinky nude. And It's really moisturizing. I have to say the formula feels really good on the lips. I'm gonna go ahead and try both of these glosses. Actually, you know what? Maybe let me go ahead and swatch this one first because I don't know if I want to put this on my lips. This one is the Super Nude, and I think this is gonna look awful on me because I feel like it's a little too light. That's what it looks like. Maybe it'll look more on the clear side, but I don't know if I want to mess with it right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and use Juicy, which is more of a pinky type of color. These also don't have scents like I mentioned earlier. This is a pretty gloss. So I went ahead and swatched them right here. You can see that the gloss is very, very similar in color to the lipstick. So it looks really nice on top of the lipstick. It's very like close in color. So if you just want to add like a glossy touch to the lipstick that you already have, it definitely will give you a nice glossy touch without like taking away from the color. This one, like I mentioned, the Super Nude, I don't think this one would look the most flattering on somebody of my complexion or a little bit deeper. I feel like it will definitely give you kind of like a really whitish type of tint on the lips. So now I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the eyeshadows and what I think of the Mario palette. So I have to say that I think for the palette, it's a pretty decent price. I think it's like $42 or like $45. So I think for that, I think it's worth it. I think that you get it priced well. It's not like overpriced. Now there is a little bit of fallout with these shadows, so you have to be careful that you don't go in there extremely hard because there will be some fallout that comes out. I don't really mind a little bit of fallout because I feel like when there's a little bit of fallout, that means it's going to be really nicely pigmented. But I would just be careful because you don't want to get your palette messy, or you don't want to just create a mess, or you don't want any fallout if you're already wearing foundation. But I always recommend you do your eyeshadow before you put on your foundation so that you don't get any fallout. You can go ahead and clean that up before you put on your base. So that's just something to be mindful of. I also want to say that I really like the fact that they have the colors that you really need that are super essential. You have your nice transition colors, which tend to be like these nice like brown shades right here. You have those, and then you have this really good white, very pigmented matte eyeshadow. I feel like this is so essential in every palette. I think overall the color selection was really good, and I like the story behind each shadow. I feel like they really took their time and carefully selected colors that they constantly use through their 10 years of working together, because I think that's so essential. And I think these are also colors that we all love to use like on a day-to-day basis. There are the fun colors like the blue, which, you know, they have their story behind that, how he always wanted to do the blue, and she was kind of like, no, I like more of like my neutral colors. But I think that's fun, and I definitely created a big statement in the makeup world right now. Everybody's doing the blue, so it was really nice to see this come out. And the last question I think would be is, do I think these eyeshadows are absolutely the best I've ever used? Some of them are really, really good, and some of them, like these shimmers right here, this shimmer, I felt like it could be a little tiny bit more pigmented. It wasn't giving me that full capacity that some other palettes give me. For example, the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette, holy shiz. That palette is so pigmented, like you do not need MAC Fix Plus or anything to give it that full bang, and I just didn't see that from some of these shadows. But overall, I think an 8.5 out of 10 is what I would give this palette, because it's definitely a really nice palette, and I think the price range for it is really good. That $42-$45 price range isn't bad at all for a palette, considering it's a KKW Beauty with Mario collab. It was a good collab. I think it's really nice that Kim did her collaboration, her first collaboration with her makeup artist. I feel like it couldn't have been with anybody else. That's that. So I'm gonna go ahead and peace out, because you guys are probably like, girl, you talk too much. Once again, yes I do, I like to go in depth. So if you guys enjoyed watching this video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing more tutorials / reviews. If you guys want to see more from me, then please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to become a member of my family here on YouTube, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss a video for the world. So that being said, I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.